I started out this game as a bronze, but then I ended somewhere where I probably should be. Something felt off, and in my head I was just thinking that this was going to be another one of those games. I had to slow it down a little bit and regain some more control. After deflecting this possible dangerous shot, I took my time gathering the ball and trying to figure out what I would do next. As I dribbled up the field, I noticed my teammate on the right-hand side, so I wanted to go for a pass. It didn't seem like he was ready for the pass, but I don't blame him because a lot of people don't pass at this rank anyways, or they just throw the ball up and expect you to get it wherever it lands. I hustled back to make this 50, and then I took a long shot to try and catch them off guard. They made a really nice save and then returned the ball in our direction to return the favor. However, my brain disconnected and for some reason I didn't jump for this 50. Unfortunately, we were now down 2-0, so something had to change. This guy didn't seem too threatening, so I took my time and waited for the opportunity to challenge. I knew I wasn't going to beat him to the ball, so I decided to go for the demo, and it worked out perfectly. This set up my teammate for a really nice shot, but I followed along just in case it needed a redirect. Good thing I did because I think they might have saved it. One of our next plays up the field, I tried to keep control of the ball, especially with no boost. I didn't want to lose it to them. I had a decent bump and a 50, but then I wasn't able to keep control of the ball after that. So I decided to play a game of chicken with this guy for the boost. And, not to brag, but I won. My teammate made a nice pass, but I wasn't in the right position to make a shot. Then I saw this guy coming for a demo, so I decided to go back to the net, assuming his teammate was going to take a shot. I guess that was one of my few and far between smart plays. I deflected this next ball before it reached our net, but it wasn't as good as I'd hoped for. I took my time here and I was able to stop this play. My teammate tried to clear the ball off the wall, but it didn't go as planned, so luckily I was covering the net. I took my time with this and got control of the ball. I could tell they weren't going to try anything because they weren't in any position to do so. After bounce dribbling and getting past one of the opponents, I wanted to go for a pass, but honestly I probably could have taken the shot and it might have worked out better. I assumed by the way this guy came flying in here, he was going to keep his momentum up and make a charge for the net. So I decided to go for a 50, but it didn't go as planned, so I panicked and had to improvise. As I saw this inevitable setup happening, I noticed my boost was empty. I went for the only move I could think of, the squishy. I was a little slow to execute, but I bet my teammate could hear me celebrating through the mic. My choices here were either to cover the net or cover my teammate. I decided to cover my teammate and try to go for this 50. I'm glad I did because my teammate was able to score off this. The score was now 2-2, so we had to lock in, but then this happened. I was just a little too slow and watched helplessly as the ball bounced into our net. Now we had to try and catch up with only limited time left. I noticed my teammate pushing the right side, so I rotated back to cover the net. Turns out that was the right decision, and then we made another push for their net. My teammate tried to flick to get a quick goal, but it was a little wide. I assumed there would be some kind of pinch or clear to our end, so I waited for my opportunity. Of course it's a banger, why wouldn't it be? Glad I stayed back to save this shot. In our last attempt, with the clock counting down, my teammate made a side wall pinch to try and clear the ball. I was a little hopeful after one of the opponents fumbled the ball on the wall and gave us another opportunity. In a last-ditch effort, I tried to pinch the ball into the center of the field so my teammate could score, but they made a nice clear and secured their victory. Anyways, GG's.